Welcome to my story, a journey of resilience, adaptation, and growth as I navigate life in one of the most romanticized cities in the world, Paris. While Paris is often associated with glamour, art, and romance, the reality of living here is vastly different from the postcards and Instagram feeds. Today, I'll share with you my personal experiences, the struggles I faced, and how I managed to overcome them. From cultural adjustments and language barriers to financial pressures and moments of homesickness, this is my raw and honest account of surviving life in Paris. Chapter 1: The Dream versus the Reality. Like many of you, I've always dreamed of living in Paris. The allure of cobblestone streets, chic fashion, and a vibrant art scene seemed irresistible. But the reality hit me like a cold breeze on a winter morning. My first struggle was housing. Paris is infamous for its tiny, overpriced apartments. Finding a place to live felt like a battle. I'll never forget my first apartment, 12 square meters, no elevator, and a shared bathroom down the hall. I spent weeks navigating online listings, visiting agencies, and dealing with landlords who preferred locals over foreigners. Each rejection was disheartening, but it taught me persistence. But despite the initial shock, I reminded myself that I wasn't here for luxury. I was here for the experience. Little by little, I made the space my own, filling it with personal touches that made it feel like home. My weekends were spent exploring nearby neighborhoods, from the bohemian charm of Montmartre to the bustling markets in Belleville. Each outing was a reminder of why I chose to make this city my home, even if it came with its own set of challenges. The reality of Paris also meant learning to navigate its intricate systems, from mastering the metro to understanding the city's bureaucratic processes. Every step, though frustrating at times, brought a sense of accomplishment. Another challenge was the noise and chaos of city life. Paris can be overwhelming with its crowded streets and fast-paced lifestyle. I found solace in early morning walks by the Seine when the city was quiet and serene. Chapter 2: The Language Barrier. Bonjour and merci will only get you so far. While I had studied some French before moving, the speed and slang of native speakers were overwhelming. I remember an embarrassing moment at a bakery when I accidentally asked for poison instead of poisson, that's mean fish. The look on the vendor's face still haunts me. Moments like these humbled me and made me determined to improve. To overcome this, I took language classes and immersed myself in French media. I made flashcards, practiced with language apps, and even joined a language exchange group. Slowly but surely, I began to understand and speak with more confidence. One breakthrough moment came when I successfully navigated a doctor's appointment in French. It was a small victory, but it showed me how far I'd come. Beyond classes, I pushed myself to have daily conversations in French, whether at the grocery store, a coffee shop, or with neighbors. These interactions, though intimidating at first, became opportunities to practice and connect with locals. I also discovered French podcasts and audiobooks, which helped me improve my listening skills while commuting on the metro. Bit by bit, the language felt less like a barrier and more like a bridge to understanding Parisian culture. Over time, I began to appreciate the nuances of the French language. Learning idiomatic expressions and cultural references enriched my experience and allowed me to engage in deeper conversations. One memorable moment was being invited to a local book club. Discussing French literature in its native language was both challenging and rewarding, deepening my connection to the culture. Chapter 3: Financial Pressures. Paris is beautiful, but it's also expensive. Rent, transportation, and dining out quickly add up. Managing my finances became a daily challenge. I discovered affordable grocery stores, learned to cook traditional French meals at home, and mastered the art of thrifting. Cooking became a source of joy, and I experimented with dishes like ratatouille and quiche Lorraine. One of my biggest tips, always look for free or low-cost activities. Paris is rich in history and culture, and many museums and events offer discounts or free entry on certain days. I also took advantage of walking tours to explore the city without spending a cent. Budgeting tools and apps became my best friends, helping me track expenses and prioritize what mattered most. Through trial and error, I found ways to enjoy Paris on a modest budget. I also took on freelance work, offering English tutoring and writing services. These gigs not only supplemented my income, but also connected me with locals and expats who shared valuable insights about navigating Parisian life. Additionally, I made a habit of exploring flea markets like Marché aux Puces de Saint-Ouen. These vibrant spots were perfect for finding unique, affordable items while immersing myself in Parisian culture. Finding alternative forms of entertainment, like picnics at parks or attending free community events, became a regular part of my routine. These experiences enriched my life without straining my wallet. I also learned the art of delayed gratification. Saving for special experiences, like a day trip to Versailles, made those moments even more meaningful. Chapter 4. The cultural adjustment. Adapting to French culture was another hurdle. From understanding social cues to blending into Parisian fashion, I often felt like an outsider. The French value subtlety and sophistication. For instance, loud conversations in public or casual dress in certain settings can draw disapproving looks. It took me time to appreciate their pace of life and approach to relationships. Building friendships required patience and genuine effort. Unlike in my home country, relationships in Paris often start formally and deepen over time. I learned to embrace long, meaningful conversations and the art of saying no, politely but firmly. Over time, I learned to embrace these cultural differences, realizing they were part of the city's charm. By observing and adapting, I found my own balance between staying true to myself and respecting local norms. One significant cultural adjustment was learning to navigate Parisian dining etiquette. From knowing when to say bon appétit to mastering the art of lingering over coffee, these small details deepened my appreciation for French traditions. I also embraced the slower pace of life, where savoring moments mattered more than rushing through tasks. This mindset shift allowed me to enjoy the present and connect more deeply with others. Paris taught me to appreciate art, music, and literature in ways I hadn't before. Visiting galleries, attending concerts, and reading French classics became a regular part of my life. Chapter 5. Overcoming homesickness. Being away from loved ones was perhaps the toughest part. There were days when I felt isolated and doubted my decision to move here. To combat homesickness, I created a routine that included calling my family regularly, seeking out expat communities, and finding comfort in familiar foods and traditions. A small taste of home, like making my grandmother's soup recipe, lifted my spirits immensely. I also started a gratitude journal where I wrote down 3 things I was thankful for each day. It helped shift my focus from what I missed to what I was gaining through this experience. Additionally, I joined virtual groups with people from my home country, sharing stories and support. These connections reminded me that I wasn't alone in navigating the challenges of living abroad. Taking walks along the Seine provided moments of peace and reflection, helping me reconnect with my reasons for moving here. Overcoming homesickness also meant creating new traditions. Celebrating holidays with friends and participating in local festivals brought a sense of belonging. One of the most heartwarming experiences was hosting a dinner party with dishes from my homeland. Sharing my culture with new friends strengthened bonds and eased the ache of being far from home. Chapter 6. Finding community. One of the best ways to adapt to life in Paris was to find a community. Whether through language exchanges, hobby groups, or social events, I met people who shared similar experiences. Joining local organizations also allowed me to integrate better into Parisian life. These connections became my support system. I met friends who introduced me to hidden gems in the city and offered invaluable advice on navigating life here. I also explored creative workshops such as painting and photography classes. These activities not only honed my skills, but also introduced me to like-minded individuals who enriched my Parisian experience. Attending community events like neighborhood markets or cultural fairs became a way to feel connected. These gatherings were opportunities to meet locals and celebrate the diversity within Paris. Over time, my circle of friends grew to include people from different backgrounds. Their stories and perspectives enriched my understanding of the world and made my time in Paris unforgettable. Chapter 7. Personal growth. Despite the struggles, living in Paris has been a transformative journey. I've grown in ways I never imagined. I've learned resilience, adaptability, and the importance of self-reliance. Paris challenged me, but it also taught me to find beauty in the chaos. The city's charm lies not just in its landmarks, but in its ability to inspire growth and introspection. I discovered strengths I didn't know I had and learned to cherish the small wins along the way. From mastering the metro system to sharing a heartfelt conversation with a stranger, these moments became the highlights of my journey. Writing about my experiences, whether through a blog or a personal journal, also became a therapeutic outlet. Reflecting on my journey helped me process emotions and appreciate the progress I'd made. Living in Paris also taught me to embrace uncertainty and step outside my comfort zone. Each challenge became an opportunity to grow and redefine what I was capable of. The friendships and connections I've made along the way have been a testament to the power of human resilience and kindness. These bonds remind me that no matter where we are, we can create a sense of home. Living in Paris hasn't been easy, but it's been worth it. Each struggle has shaped me into a stronger, more confident person. If you're considering a move to a new city, know that challenges are inevitable, but so is growth. Embrace the journey, and you'll discover a version of yourself you never knew existed. To anyone dreaming of Paris, my advice is to come prepared, but open-hearted. The city will challenge you, but it will also inspire you in ways you can't imagine. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your experiences or questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. And remember, wherever you are in the world, your resilience and determination will guide you through life's challenges.